You know that simple brown box that shows up on your doorstep? Well, it has a hidden life, a story that is way more complex and honestly fascinating than you'd probably ever guess. So let's unpack it. We are going to peel back the layers on something you almost definitely have in your home right now. And in doing that, we're going to uncover this incredible journey of sustainable forestry, some really clever engineering, and what is truly one of the most successful recycling stories on the entire planet. All right, so every single box begins its life not just as any old tree, but as a carefully selected mix of trees, almost always grown in sustainably managed forests. You can think of it like a recipe that starts right there in nature. See, this is all about engineering from the get-go. It's not just one type of wood. What manufacturers do is they blend the long, really tough fibers from softwoods, think pine, for strength, with the short, fine fibers from hardwoods to get that smooth surface that's just perfect for printing logos and labels on. So once the right trees get to the mill, the real transformation kicks off. First, all the bark gets stripped away. Then, these giant machines chop the logs into small, uniform chips. And these chips, they're the essential ingredient, now ready to be broken down into their fundamental fibers. Okay, now the mill has a big decision to make. They can either grind the chips up mechanically, which gives you more pulp, but the fibers are weaker, or they can cook them chemically using what's called the Kraft process. And for the strong, durable boxes we all rely on, the Kraft process is the undisputed champion. It basically dissolves the natural glue holding the wood fibers together, leaving them longer and way, way stronger. So we've got our strong pulp, which then gets pressed and dried into these giant sheets of paper. But flat paper isn't strong. So how does it become a box that can actually protect a big screen TV during shipping? Well, the secret isn't just in the material. It's all about the structure. The magic is all in this three-part structure. It is such a simple but brilliant idea. You've got two flat sheets, they're called liner boards, with a wavy sheet, the medium, glued right between them. It's an engineering sandwich that creates incredible strength from a material that's surprisingly lightweight. And that wavy middle layer, it is not just for decoration. Think about it for a second. It's a whole series of connected arches. And the arch, well, it's one of the strongest shapes in all of engineering. It distributes weight and resists getting crushed or taking an impact, which is exactly what a shipping box needs to do. And this all comes together in a flash. I mean, huge, grooved, heated rollers press the paper into that perfect wave pattern. Then, a non-toxic starch-based glue gets applied to the very tips of the waves, and then bam! All three layers are pressed together to form this strong, rigid board that's about to be cut, folded, and turned into a box. But hold on, the journey does not stop when you open your package. In fact, for most cardboard, that is just the beginning of its next chapter. It is designed from the start to come back again and again. 7. A single cardboard fiber can be recycled and turned into a new box up to 7 times. Now, each time it gets recycled, the fibers do get a little shorter and weaker, but that is still an incredibly long and useful life for a piece of paper. Just look at how successful this recycling loop is. The vast majority of cardboard boxes you see today are made from old cardboard. Only a tiny amount of new virgin fiber needs to be mixed in just to keep the material strong. It is a fantastic closed-loop system. So how does it work? Well, at the recycling mill, huge bales of old boxes are dropped into this giant vat of water called a pulper. It's kind of like a giant blender that turns them back into a fiber slurry. From there, a whole series of screens and filters goes to work, removing all the junk, tape, staples, plastic, even the old ink, leaving behind clean pulp, ready to become a brand new box. And this is where we all play a part, because keeping our recycling clean is absolutely key. You know that grease from a pizza box? It's a major problem. The oil soaks into the paper fibers and it just can't be separated, which can ruin an entire batch of pulp. The goal is always, always clean and dry. But the story of cardboard is far from over. No, it's constantly evolving to meet all the new demands from e-commerce and to overcome the challenges of a changing world. You've got this constant balance, this push and pull between challenges and innovation. On one hand, yeah, there are real issues, like the massive amounts of energy and water that mills need. But on the other hand, the innovation is just amazing. We're seeing molded fiber replacing styrofoam, super strong honeycomb panels being used in furniture, and even new biodegradable coatings that make boxes water resistant without hurting their recyclability. It's pretty cool. This really just captures the entire story perfectly, doesn't it? It's not a straight line from the forest to a landfill. It's a complete circular system that connects our forests, our factories, and our homes. So the next time you break down a box, just take a second to look at that wavy line on the inside. You're not just looking at packaging. You're holding a little marvel of engineering, a small piece of an incredible circular journey. And that makes you wonder, right? What else is hiding right in front of us?